everybody, it's Christine, and today I want to share with you 10 ideas for scrapbooking your Halloween photographs. Halloween is my favorite holiday to scrap. It's not my favorite holiday, but it's my favorite holiday to actually do scrapbook layouts of. And I have lots of little tips and tricks for you on how to do it, either if you don't have a lot of Halloween supplies or if you do and you want to change things up. So let's get started. This is the first one, and on this one, let's say you don't have a lot of Halloween supplies, budget's tight, you don't want to go out and buy a whole bunch. Think about going with products that are somewhat neutral and can work for Halloween. So everybody knows black and orange are your base for Halloween. You can add in purple, you can add in greens, you can add in yellows, and that will look like Halloween. Absolutely nothing on this page is Halloween themed other than this cut file here. Okay, the rest of it is all neutral stuff that I made work for a Halloween layout. So you've got stars here, obvious why that goes with Halloween. You can tell from the color scheme. The pictures obviously make it stand out. I cut out just a little ghost shape and added googly eyes, made my own embellishment. Okay, I added on these nice sticker stitches in orange to bring out that orange a little more. So there you can see, you can really build a whole layout without having any Halloween products on hand if you just look through your stash and see what you have. Okay, my second idea is to, if you have a collection that you really like, but you've seen a lot of people using it, you want to use it in a different way, that's a good time to bust into your cut files. Whether it's through electronic cutting system or to use metal dies, you can totally personalize a collection by pulling those out and making it your own. So this, you can see, is an older Simple Stories collection. I did this layout a couple years ago, but I made it my own. You can see this is clearly a Simple Stories thing going on here, okay? But I made it my own by using this background cut file with the orange with the bricks that came from Just Nick, and I also did my own cut file for the title, which was also from Just Nick, as well as these bats. Makes it my own. And without those, I could have added some more embellishments from Simple Stories, could have added a background from Simple Stories, would have had still a beautiful look, but this allows it to be personalized to myself. Like I showed you a few minutes ago, you can start with absolutely nothing in your stash that is Halloween. In this case, I started with a Halloween base and then went to my stash to build out. So this background you can see is from Coordinations a few years ago, and you can see it's candy, boo, spiders, clearly a Halloween background, okay? But then I went to my stash and used these orange and greens and craft colors, all that are not Halloween themed, because I didn't have a lot of Halloween themed stuff that worked. Now I have a couple of these that I don't have the layout of, and you can go over to my blog and you can see the layout, but these were featured in the Joann stores, and so they never came back to me. They weren't supposed to come back to me. But I do have good pictures of them on my blog, but I'm going to give you an idea of it here. So this one, base your layout on the colors of their costume. This is a technique we use all the time in scrapbooking, right? And you can see this layout clearly has a Halloween theme to it with the monster, the boo, and all that. But the whole scheme doesn't scream Halloween. The whole color is based on his turquoise colored monster outfit. And so it has the Halloween feel because of the embellishments I used, but it also has that bright, colorful kid feel to it. And that's just another approach you can take. If you're sick of looking at the Halloween colors, find a way to work in their costume colors instead and use embellishments to bring out that Halloween theme. My next tip is, for Halloween, we tend to have a lot of pictures. I know I often take multiple photos, and I like multiple photos because the kids are in a good mood, they're excited, so they tend to take really cute pictures on that day. In that case, focus on small embellishments. Here I have 3 different pictures on this. Maybe I even would want to get 4 or 5 on there. I could do that because look at how small my embellishments are. I've got those stars, I've got some rhinestones, but my sticker embellishments are really tiny. They're not big, they're not overpowering at all. And even my title is pretty tiny. In fact, the title, maybe if I was going to do it again, I could probably make the title a little more bold. But when you're working with multiple photos, it's okay to just step back on the embellishments and make them smaller and let the photos be the star. Okay, next. Now, you can totally base your layout on their costume, and it doesn't have to look anything like Halloween. My son was old enough here that doing a Halloween-themed layout didn't really seem quite appropriate for his age level, and since he was wearing a baseball outfit, I decided to just pull out some baseball-themed stuff and do the layout that way. It still tells, you can see right there in my journaling, Halloween costumes for your age. Okay, it still clearly tells exactly why he was dressed that way, but it allows me the chance to use some fun themed stuff that maybe I don't have the opportunity to use as much. Or if you see like this really cute football one in the store, you can grab that because you could use it for that football costume page. So think outside of the box. You don't always have to be thinking it has to look just like Halloween, and this one is a classic example of that. My next tip is to build your title around something that is a cute quote that you might hear a lot in society. This one specifically, I did "something stinks" because you hear people say that all the time, and it has different connotations definitely depending on the situation. In this case, my son was dressed like a skunk, so you could take it very literally. But think about things like that as you're looking at their costumes, you're looking at how they're dressed. Is there some cute play on words that you can use to make your title and really make the layout stand out because the title is so unique? Next tip, if you have a lot of fall embellishments and fall papers, abandon the Halloween theme altogether. It is autumn. Oftentimes those costumes work in autumn. Oftentimes we have pictures of them with their leaves and stuff as they're walking. So abandon Halloween altogether and just go for autumn. That's okay. Especially, like in this case, his costume really matches the autumn colors very well. So it works just right for what I was going for. And again, you can see I've got it documented there in my journaling that this was Halloween. I mean, obviously, he's not running around dressed up like a monkey on a regular basis anyway, but you can see I still pulled in the Halloween to it by adding in journaling. This one is another example that I don't have the layout on hand anymore because it was sold and used for Joann's, but I will have it over on my blog, so you can check it out over there. This one, I want to focus on the shapes. There are a lot of shapes with Halloween. There's the shape of a full moon. There's the shape of a crescent moon, depending what year it is. There's the shape of pumpkins, bats. There are lots of shapes that you can work in. Triangles with candy corn. Work a big shape into your layout and create a really big focal point on your layout. That is something that I like to do in all seasons, and you can see how nicely it worked here, where it really accentuates the tree and the spookiness of the layout because I've got that big moon looking background. Finally, I want to talk about you can shape your pictures to fit your theme. So in this case, I had all these little eyeballs all over the layout, and that was what I was aiming for. I wanted those circular pictures of my son to mimic the eyeballs on the layout. Now, granted, you don't want to cut your picture to look like a bat, but there are some things where you can really make it work and just mimic the shapes, not necessarily put them exactly into it. And you can see on this one, like the last one, I used a big focal point once again to bring out to create the whole base for my layout and make it interesting. So those are my tips for you. I'm going to link you up to some of my favorite Halloween supplies. I will also have on my blog pictures of all of these up close, and you can check them out. And I will be back tomorrow with a Halloween video hop with several friends, so you're going to want to be sure to check that out. I would love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite Halloween tips? Leave me a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.